I've looked at this family journey from a family systems perspective. Leading family system therapists are Murray Bowen, Salvador Minuchin, and Ivan Boszormenyi-Nagy. They have assisted me in my understanding of family systems theory. The family system theory is a theory introduced by Dr. Murray Bowen that suggests that individuals cannot be understood in isolation from one another, but rather as a part of their family, as the family is an emotional unit. Families are systems of interconnected and interdependent individuals, none of whom can be understood in isolation from the system. I have gone back 4 generations in my family history. I have recognized the various relational dynamics over this period and tried to look at them in the light of the family systems theory. As a result of the knowledge and insight gained on this family journey, I have come to know and understand myself better. In December of 2007, I traveled from the USA to Durban, South Africa, to get as much information about 4 generations of family history. For the first time, I had the opportunity to interview family members, uncles, aunts, and cousins about the family history. This exercise connected me to my roots. I felt emotional at times at the sad moments, happy for the good times, and grateful for those defining moments. I constructed a genogram and was able to go back 4 generations. The 4 generations provided a historical or multi-generational framework in which I was able to identify the concepts that Murray Bowen refers to in his family systems theory. I saw how members in this system were involved in triangles and those that were cut-offs, meaning that they were reduced or cut themselves off emotionally, with family as a way of managing unresolved issues, and how sibling position played a part in the development and behavior of certain individuals. Eva and I were involved in ministry in South Africa. I served the Perusia Baptist Church. I had the opportunity to lead this congregation for 14.5 years. Looking back at those years in the light of my family journey, I now understand the reason for the way I respond to my work. You see, I lost my mom when I was 6 years old. This did take a toll on me emotionally. I took on the role of a parent. I was very protective of my siblings. When my younger brother got into fights, he would call me to defend him. The same was with my sisters. In my interview with them, they shared this trait about me. In psychology, I would be considered a parentified child. I was taking on the responsibilities of an adult. I was not advancing through the necessary developmental stages. When I was called to lead people in my ministry, I basically did everything for my members. And since many were from low economic backgrounds, I felt it was my duty to protect and provide them with the emotional and spiritual support. This did take a toll on me emotionally, to the extent I was burnt out. Another observation I came to identify is that in my early years, before my mom died, I watched her live her life where she demonstrated the ability to set herself goals and then accomplish them. She got my dad to build a house a wooden iron house in Itata in South Africa. She furnished the kitchen, bought me a tape recorder, and maintained the finances very well. My dad concurred with me during my interview with him that such was my mum. I learned that in my years growing up that I was becoming more and more like my mum, who was a goal-orientated person. I left home to study in Johannesburg, graduated in 1989 from the Baptist Theological Seminary. I then went on to complete graduate studies and am currently completing postgraduate degrees. As a leader, I served on several boards, served in different positions in the Baptist Association of South Africa, and then became the president of this organization from 2000 to 2003. I also served in the Baptist World Alliance committees. I say this because of the drive I saw in my mother, and that has contributed positively to my life. Although I only spent 6 years of my life with you, you left an indelible mark on my life. The songs you loved to sing, I'm on my way to Canaan's land, the seat that you sat on at church, the sewing skills and how you sewed dresses for Mumsy and Lynette, and dressed Daryl, Dad and I with similar outfits. The goals you set yourself, and for the family, like the building of a house, the special tape recorder that you bought me, the times when all 6 of us huddled together on Saturday mornings in bed, and then the strong faith that you had and modeled for us helped to shape who I am today. Mum, I'm married now with 3 lovely children and a most wonderful and caring wife. I wish that in some ways my family would have experienced you. But in the words of my professor, Carol Schreck, I quote, "We in essence carry them within us. We mirror those benefactors, those persons from our past, whose images are reflected in our faces." Unquote. And so, some of what my wife and children see in me and how I do things is a reflection of you, Mum. And in this way, they've probably experienced some of you.
No matter how far we wander from our families, we in essence carry them within us. We mirror those persons from our past, whose images are reflected in our faces, whose gait is portrayed in our particular way of walking, whose gifts and talents are played out in our moments of delight and fulfillment, and whose ways of